The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome to the Diagnostic Trading Hour here. My name is Darrell Martin. I'll be your host for the show. We're talking about Nadex. We're talking about diagnostic trading. What is diagnostic trading? Diagnostic trading is where you focus on 4 different areas in the market, and those 4 areas are statistics, fundamentals, seasonals, and technicals. And the reason we look at those areas is not necessarily completely to make our trades, but to go, if I was a seasonal trader, what kind of trade would I make? If I was a technical trader, what kind of trade would I make? If I was fundamental, what kind of trade would I make? You know, going down the list. And using that to go, okay, so where will the orders be located if I was that kind of trader? Where would I put my order? And then using that to help you be one step ahead of the market because you try to become the supplier versus becoming the consumer. You're the guy trying to get in and get out where everybody else is getting in. Or taking some profit, because where everybody else is getting in, that's that 50-50 shot. And so you want to be one step ahead. In addition, you want to also, have maximum leverage, but at the same time, you want to have completely limited risk. And so that's why we talk about Nadex, is because we use that in our diagnostic analysis to trade the markets, but completely limit our risk where we don't have to worry about ever getting stopped out of a trade. So, looking over at the markets right now, let's check out and just see, where things are sitting. So on the market, we got the S&P is flat. All right, so flat on the day. And we got the Russell up 4 points. I guess you could say it's the big mover on the day there. You do have the Dow up 6. And or not the Dow, but you got the Dow up 6 points. And the NASDAQ, I guess, is at 9.5. So maybe that's the winner of the day so far. You got the oil, it's up 24 cents, and you got gold down $2. So looking over at the commodities, we got soybeans deciding to move up after yesterday's big down drop is going up 12 points right now. We got corn up 50 cents. And wrapping up on the currencies, we got the euro dollar down 38 cents, the pound dollar down 32, the Aussie dollar down 87. So that's just your current market wrap right there. And, if you have any questions, definitely please give us a call. I'd love to take your questions. Stocks, options, Forex, futures, Nadex, just analysis period. Just let me know. 877-927-6648. And that's 877-927-6648. And you can also call in outside the U.S. at 727-445-1044. And so now let's go ahead and look at, like I said, the Russell, doing some pretty good solid moves, pretty, consistent on its moves right there. And if I go over and I can pull up, the Dow, it's been, pretty flat as well. And on the day here, so if we look at that right there, just perfect for scalp trading. It's definitely scalp trading season right now. And if we look over at a couple other things, we can check out, we can drop in on gold. And, gold right here, closing right there, just sort of up and down and up a little bit. But no big major move overall on gold on the day there. And oil, has some definitely some decent trading opportunities, being up a little bit right there. And so you could go in and, basically just ride some short scalp trades. But, it's just been hitting that ceiling, coming back down, hitting it again, coming back down, hitting it again. And just keeps needing to run into resistance right there on 95.90. So those are some trades you could be looking at. And then if we go over and let's check out a couple currency trades. Let's see here. We'll check out the pound. And pound has just been, doing a whole lot of nothing for most of the day. And forward on over there. Yep. So pretty flat. But we can also look over at, we got the Aussie. And the Aussie has decided that it wants to move it down today. So it's been moving on down and had some pretty good entries. So I'm all the way on the Aussie there throughout the day, early this morning and even, this afternoon. So had some nice tight entries on the Aussie dollar there. And that's what those little E-bars are. They're entry bars. And, so just a lot of things going on in the market, and it's really interesting what's going on. September 12th, that's the day, man. That's the day that's going to it could end up defining the entire year, the entire decade. Who knows? September 12th. So we got the Supreme Court of Germany deciding whether or not it's constitutional for everybody else basically for the Germans to take on everybody else's debt and them to issue the bonds. And you got Merkel, of course, she's against the bond idea in a lot of ways. What she really wants is she wants a true fiscal, political, united EU where all the countries submit their budgets. And there's some countries definitely opposed to that, as you can imagine. But again, then they ability to print unlimited money and basically get rid of the instability. It just would put every country at the subject of the EU versus having their own. Right now, they still have their own autonomy. And they just, the rules are changing on a daily basis. And Finland is definitely being known as they're probably the biggest dissenting voice to the entire thing. They're like, enough is enough. We don't want to put money out there. We don't want to loan any more money to Greece. We don't want to loan any more money to Spain. We don't want to loan any money to Italy. We're done. And they're putting together a contingency plan for an EU breakup. So I don't know if they're going to pull out of the EU or if, they're just basically saying, hey, the time has come. And, you can only do this for so long. And really, the only way they're going to be able to, I guess what you could say is fix it. I'm not really in favor of the idea personally. But it's about have a true EU monetary union. I'd rather just all go back to them having their own currencies. So that basically makes the U.S. more of a powerhouse because we're not competing with the EU by having that one united currency. But anyways, if they break apart, great. But the only way they're going to fix it is if they come to a fiscal union. Otherwise, it's just going to be patch after patch after patch, and the countries over there are getting tired of it. The taxpayers over there are getting tired of it, especially the responsible ones like Germany and Finland and stuff like that. They're getting very tired of it. Holland has been in that mix. And so, again, just keep watching. But that's going to be the big day also. Like right around there, we're going to have the Fed funds rate coming out. And also they bumped up the Troika date. It was going to be mid-October. Now it's going to be mid-September. So the Troika basically is going to say whether or not they believe that Greece is meeting and making good progress on its obligations and whether or not it should get any extension on trying to bring its GDP to certain levels and, meet debt obligations. And they basically won't recommend it if they're not going there. But, they're going to recommend it. Anyways, but, they're going to recommend whatever they think is going to push it towards that fiscal union. But all that's coming to a head, like, within just a few days of each other. So, if we pull up, we can look at a couple of these things right here. We'll see if they have this updated on Forex Factory. And so right here on forexfactory.com, you can go in, you can check out the calendar. We can hop over to September and look at the September week right here. And we'll see if they have what all they have on here. So we got our Fed funds rate right there on the 13th. Conveniently a day after the announcement from the German Supreme Court. So basically, if they need to come to the rescue, which I don't know how, basically do a QE announcement. If they want to do a QE announcement, then they can do it the day after that the Supreme Court says no, if they say no. So it really puts them in a good, powerful position, and I think that's why they set it up that way, to be on the Thursday. Anyway, so, a lot of times we have it a little bit earlier than that. But anyway, so that's going to be on that Thursday. So the 13th, the 12th is going to be the German Supreme Court thing. The Troika, I think, is going to be like the day after. So it's going to be the 14th or 16th or something like that. Or maybe the 17th. But it's coming out like right after that when the Troika is reporting. And, there's several good, let's see if we do the Telegraph. Yeah, there it is. They have some pretty good step-by-step news on the debt announcements. If you're wanting to, wow, that's not exactly what we're looking for. Wasn't what it looked like. Anyway, so we go in and we pull up, let's see here. That title is not a good one. We'll go in and we'll put up the euro. Let's see, I'll put Finland in here and see what we get on the latest information there. And you can basically just use that to pull up the information. But yeah, 9/12/2012. Ominous. And of course, don't forget the world is coming to an end in November as well. So when all the planets, do their alignment. But so what is that? December 21st or something like that. So it's going to be just an interesting year. I mean, we got the EU may be coming to an end. The world may be coming to an end. With the election, the United States may be coming. Who knows? But it's going to be an interesting quarter. So September, October, November, I guess a little bit more than a quarter. December. So, and then, of course, we got the whole Iranian thing. Are we going to have Iran as an enemy, or are we not going to have Iran as an enemy? And are we going to go to war? Is Israel going to go to war? What's that going to do to prices? Does Obama want to get reelected? If he does, then, usually presidents in wars get reelected. So he may pull that punch. Who knows? So we got a lot of things going on fundamentally, and that's, part of the trading, right? It's fundamentals. So, but yeah, they have sort of a step-by-step and on the loans right there, and the bad bank loans and just everything. Right there, Finland, wanting to break away and just get rid of everything. So it'll be interesting to see if somebody jumps, man. If they jump first, they're going to be, blamed for everything. Yeah. And so, what we want to do is we want to make sure we keep an eye on all those fundamentals. And like I said, this is sort of a good report that I've been finding, telegraph.co.uk there, just for seeing some updated news. And, of course, we'll always keep you updated right here with our opinion on the markets and our opinion on the fundamentals. And a couple other things is, like I said, if I go over to Forex Factories to keep updated on just the current day announcements. And we had the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. That came out. That basically was the biggest wow we had all day, and then it just went flat right after that. Like on the ES, it sort of shot up a little bit. If you're looking down at the regular old, few minute bars, 5 minute bars or whatever, we can even go in and I'll show you what happened when the announcement came out. And that's pretty much the impact of, like I said, the day. So let's see. Pull it in. Report comes out right there, literally. And then, that's it. Day over. So flat. And, so you always want to keep an eye out on those fundamentals. They can really stop you out. They can hit you hard when they do come out if you're not expecting them. And so if you go in here and you look over at the Forex Factory, then you'll see the announcements, what the expectations are, what came out, and you can even get details on, how much it affects different currencies and things like that. Basically, I've got a question over here in the Tiger Den about how come the German Constitutional Court is due to rule on the Euro bailout on 9/12. That's basically just when they said that they're going to make the announcement on basically if it's constitutional for Germans to be responsible for bailing out other countries. So, considering they're not a citizen of that country necessarily, I mean, they're semi-citizen of the EU, but they're basically there's a lot of people that don't like it, and so people are fighting the constitutionality of the Germans having to take on that liability because they have low unemployment and they have really good economic numbers, and things have been going pretty well overall for Germany, especially compared to everybody else, and they don't have inflation going on, and people have jobs, they like them, and they don't want more taxes. And the bottom line is all these bailouts mean more taxes. So, but that's when they said they're going to make the announcement. So definitely keep your eye on that. Hold on, come back. We'll check out some other parts of diagnostic trading and maybe look at a couple Nadex setups as well.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit tfnn.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kay Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Diagnostic Trading Hour with Darrell Martin. And I was just reading a story that was posted by Kip over the Tiger's Den. It's pretty hilarious. But basically, the judge is not liking, I guess, overseeing Apple and Samsung and their whole, suitcase back and forth with each other. And so she basically said that Apple was smoking crack. If she wanted her to read all these papers and file all this paperwork for people that were going to be called in the next 4 hours. And but she actually said, unless you're smoking crack, these witnesses aren't going to be called. And the attorney's all polite, and he's like, Your Honor, I can assure you, I'm not smoking crack. So, I don't know. I just think that's hilarious. So they're going back and forth. You got these big companies just, doing all their little thing. But really, Samsung did steal a lot of the Apple stuff. So my wife has a Samsung phone, and half the stuff on there is pure iPhone technology. So it'll be interesting to see if they win or lose it or whatever. But it's hilarious. So I started doing stuff, and I'm like, this stuff is not new. This was whenever it was new on iPhone. And then literally, about a year later, all of a sudden, these Samsung phones start popping up with everything on them. And I'm like, wow, there'll be some suits over that. And it took about a year or two, and now they're finally in court. But they have literally hours to testify on everything. So be watching on that one. That'll affect Apple and Samsung stock as well. I'm sure once she makes her decision, whatever that case is. I don't know if it's going to be related to patents or drugs or what. But it'll be interesting to watch that and see that. Anyways, back on to the market. I guess that is market related. That's some fundamental comical news for you. Going back on over and just sort of checking everything out. And the market's sort of, basically still doing their same thing. No big, massive moves since we last got on. Natural gas is also flat now on the day. And everything just, sort of just creeping along. And we're in that summertime lull. We did have a big push, really yesterday. And if you look at the markets, just what they've been doing, if we back up and we just check out at the daily bars and sort of show you here what's going on, and just to remind you of something I like to bring up and remind people of whenever they're looking at the markets, when they're looking at cycles. And we talk about seasonal cycles. Well, what happens at the middle of the month? What happens on Fridays? Okay, so right before Friday, well, ADP processes a whole bunch of payroll checks, right? And huge payroll going out, and so things are sort of moving along. And right here near the end of the month, what happens? Boom, stocks fly up. Okay, well, then you go in and notice that's a Monday, so stocks flying up right there. So that Friday right there, and then we go over again, and we're right here at the end of the week. We're in the middle of the month. Payroll. What happens at payroll? Payroll. People have their 401k distributions on autopilot. Has nothing to do with whether or not they like the market. It's just, I contribute 4% because my company matches 4%, because that's a great idea, supposedly. Anyways, so, losing 100% of 4% still didn't make you a whole lot. But people do it, and they do it every day, and trillions of dollars. And so you have a lot of money that's flowing in on Fridays and on paydays. And especially when you put Fridays and paydays together, then you get a powerful impact. So basically, we just had the payroll cycle. Money comes out, usually, day or two before or after, depending upon the cycle and how it's working, and then money flows into the market. And that is going to give it some support from dropping on down days, and it's going to give it a lot of boost on the up days. And like I said, that's just one of the, the fun cycles to look at. And I'll pull up some stats and more details on that for you. But it's one of the things that I've always watched, and it works. And it's not that you're using it so much to place your buy orders or place your sell orders. It's you're using it to be aware of what is something that is affecting the market on a seasonal basis. So it's just like, if you're looking at intraday charts and you're trading, you're obviously going to have several different trading sessions. You're going to have the Asian trading session, which is usually going to be pretty flat. You're going to have the European session, which is going to usually have some movement. Then you're going to have the morning trading session, which is going to have, usually a lot of movement. And then you're going to have the lunch session, which is going to go into a lull like we're in right now. And then you're going to finish off with, your afternoon trading session, which, if it's not Friday, is usually going to, have a bit of a move, but not usually as big as the morning. But that's a seasonal cycle during the day. So this is a seasonal cycle during the month. And so just be aware of that cycle, and that's, I think, what was the big driving factor yesterday. We had a little bit of, Merkel talking, but, whatever. So she didn't really promise anything big. We had a couple good dividend stock reports come out. We had a couple not so good reports come out. So, anyways, just always keep that in mind around that 1st and 15th of the month. And especially when you combine those when they're really close to or on, especially on a Friday. Like if you have the 15th or 1st, that's going to be like on a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday. That's a holiday. Then that's going to just compound the effect as you get Friday payroll days, and then you get all those payroll cycles happening at one time. And it's a lot of money flowing in the market through mutual funds from 401ks. So, anyways, stay right there. We'll be right back after the commercial break. We'll check out some other pieces of diagnostic trading.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to tfnn.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of tfnn.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Looks like we got a caller. Got Paul from Yonkers, New York. You there, Paul?
Hi, Darrell. How are you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. How you doing?
First of all, I just want to thank you for helping us out on this. You're taking a lot of mystery out of this. I hope you take it as a compliment. You're like the Sherlock Holmes. You make it all elementary in many ways.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's awesome.
First of all, a question on a couple of things. First of all, thank you for mentioning Opera as a browser. I wasn't unable to get that to work. I think because of my Adobe Flash needs to be updated, but I went through just with security issues and firewalls and that type of thing. I haven't been able to get it to work. But one of the things I was trying to mention to you the other day that I couldn't email to you because if I log on to your platform on a different screen, it locks me out immediately on the screen that I had it on.
You're talking about on the Nadex platform?
Swim, like I can leave it on for 2 years and it'll save the page. But if I log on to your page from a different computer, it logs out the other one and erases everything that was there.
Now you're talking about Nadex's platform. If not, I wish it was mine. I'd be loving to collect all those exchange fees. But yeah, you mean Nadex's platform?
That's Nadex's platform.
Yeah,
like
definitely probably the.
Yeah. But I was looking up other information and I logged on to a different computer and it logged me out of the other screen.
Yeah. I can't really do tech support with you. And now if you want to email me, I could hop on your screen with you for 5 minutes after the show and could probably resolve your issue. But
well, actually,
you
can see now part of what I'm speaking of. If you pull up, I was going to short the oil that expires at 2 o'clock. The oil contract, it's active now. It's the crude oil at 96.71, expiring at 2 p.m. If you bring that up on your screen, you can see what I'm talking about. It's quoting two different prices.
Okay, so we got commodities, we got oil.
Expiring soon. The crude oil expires at 2 p.m.
Okay.
96.1.
And now, which one are you looking at right here? Out of these two?
I'm sorry?
Or out of these three, which one are you looking at?
Yeah, it's expiring at 2 o'clock to 96.71. But if you bring that up, the volatility on crude oil right now is 30.15, which is significantly higher than a lot, like the S&P.
Right, but which spread are you looking at? Or are you looking at a binary or are you looking at a spread?
A binary.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me pull up the binary then.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so we got the binary right here. Yeah, I usually don't trade the inner hours unless I'm selling premium. I usually trade the dailies. But okay, so 96.71. All right.
Expiring at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Now, if you bring that ticket up, it gives two different prices. Do you show $4 and it says 99.75?
No, I just show $4. Are you in the demo platform?
No, I'm in the live account.
Okay, yeah, because I have a live account open right here.
Okay.
So if I go in and I say I want to buy it and I put 1, then my profit is 96 and my loss is 4.
Okay, but I want to sell it.
You can't sell it.
You can't sell that?
No, that's why there's no quote on the sell side.
Okay.
Because nobody will take that sell order because nobody wants to have a risk at 96 for a profit at 4. So
okay, now,
there's no
the
market.
question I have, what if I was already long and I wanted to get out of it? It's not giving me a quote to allow me to get out.
On that one, well, if you waited all the way till expiration, then right now you'd have a hard time getting out. It wouldn't really affect you unless now if it moves up at all, then you'll get a quote. Okay, but right now, I mean, you're going to collect all of your money. I mean, it's a winning trade if you sold it already.
Okay, if I sold it, but if I was long, if I had bought the contract hoping that it goes above 96.71, then I'm not going to be able to get out unless it goes above that price.
Yeah, you're basically at maximum loss right now if you bought that contract. So I mean, if you look at like the bid-ask spread right there, I mean, it looks like it's about 4 to 5 points. Okay, so if you're buying at 4, there really can't even be another side; it'd be 0. So like, look at the one right below it.
The volatility is so high, and it's somewhat close to that price. I mean, it's only like 50 cents away from the price of 96.71. Right now, crude is at 96.40. Correct?
Crude September contract is at 96.10 right now.
Okay, but it's not that far away from it. Shouldn't it have a liquid price? Like, for example, if I went long, shouldn't I have some type of value to that contract on a long price?
Not right now, you would. No, because if you bought it for $4, I mean, that is the bid-ask spread. Like, look at the spread. Yeah, even the spread below is dropping out now. We only have like 30 minutes left until expiration, not even that, 20 minutes. And 50 cents in the next 20 minutes, based on the implied volatility, based on a Friday at this time of day. Right. Basically, the market does not expect crude to move at all. So, especially the upside. They don't expect a 50-cent move. Now, if you go and you put that trade on for $4 and it does move up, then yeah, I mean, you can make some great money. But if you bought it earlier, you're saying if you bought it earlier, you would have bought it more expensive, and it just went down in value. So because it's if you bought it like at $50, it's worth nothing now because that basically there's no way it's going to go up there. So that's basically what the market is saying. There's like little to no chance that's going to happen. And I don't know if you notice, right there. It's like if we can look at this one right here, this 94.50 by 98.50.
Uh-huh.
So they're 93.50 by 98. I mean, basically you're looking at a $4 wide spread. So if your quote is $4, the spread by itself is going to put you at 0.
Right.
Because your bid-ask spread is $4. So quoted at $4, I mean, you can't get out of the trade because you've lost everything. If you bought the trade earlier, then it's at a maximum loss. So now if you sold it then you could, possibly be making something on it right now. And really just look at the, but it's not really that close on the thing right here. I mean,
right.
it's 50 cents away, but 50 cents the next 30 minutes when there's nothing going on a Friday. This is, lunchtime wool. It's Friday afternoon. There's no oil reports coming out unless Iran, shoots off a missile or something. Really, there's nothing happening right now for them to expect any big movement. So, I mean, even down at 95.71, I mean, that's only, that's about 40 cents away also on either side. I mean, you can sell this trade right now for 93. And if it goes below, then, you'd make, some good money there. So right there, you can sell it for $7, $8, whatever. You'd make 92.50.
Okay, but on the ticket itself, going back to the original we're talking about, why does it have two different prices? I mean,
it only has one price.
It has a price at $4 at the top, and at the bottom it's 25 cents.
I don't know where you're seeing 25 cents. Are you on Tiger TV?
Yes, I'm on Tiger TV, yes.
Okay, so on my screen right there, like, I only see the $4 one that you're talking about. I don't see the 25 cent.
Mine has a different price. I don't know why.
Okay.
I have the same contract open, and it's showing a different price.
So the 2 o'clock contract?
Yeah, the 2 o'clock. Mine is showing a different price. Well,
I can't do tech support with you on the radio. I'm going to have to get on your computer with you because I'm going to be guessing the entire time. But if you'll send me an email, I will hop on your computer after the show, and I'll help you out.
Okay, that helps a lot. There again, thanks a lot, and you take a lot of mystery out of this and some of these technical things. I'd love for you to see directly. All right, have a good day. Thanks, Darrell.
Yeah, you bet. Bye. Thanks for calling, man. And again, call back or send me an email, dmartin. So Darrell Martin at tfnn.com, and I'll give you a call right back. And then I also got another caller on the line. We got Craig from Tampa.
Yeah, hi, Darrell. How are you?
Hey, doing great. How you doing?
Great. Hey, thank you for your show. I've really enjoyed your show and getting me into the Nadex platform, and I've just had tremendous fun trading this way. However, I have a question, and maybe it would be best to illustrate it because I know your viewers might like to see it. Could you look at the Euro USD?
Euro USD, the chart, or do you want me to look at
you might want to pull the chart up because the question will be about Nadex and some binaries.
Okay, so I got the chart.
Okay, I'm looking at my chart, and I got, basically it's like at 123.17. Okay, now my question is about trading binaries. When I make money, I do this, but it seems like it might be a little bit risky. I try to spread that price because it's not doing anything. Now, if we go over to the binaries on Nadex, what I would end up doing is selling the 123.20 and buying the 123.00.
Okay, what time frame are you looking at there? You're looking at daily?
Sorry, that's the dailies. It's expire at 3 p.m.
All right, so we got the dailies right here, 3 p.m.
It's like I'm doing an iron condor kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, but here's the thing. I did this yesterday, and it was great. You told us the standard deviation for the SPX, and it was very close. We were thinking, it was within a point of that, and I went and sold. But you don't get the highest premium because you're taking maybe a 30-70.
Right, yeah.
You're selling, and I'm wondering, my question is that stupid? Because a lot of people talk about risk-reward should be the opposite way, but my feeling is what's more important, the probability of something occurring being on your side and sitting in the money and just letting time expire, and not, or the possibility that I could get burned if it's an 80-20 and I sell something and my potential is to only make 20 and risk 80. I was curious what your thoughts are on that because that's something I've been doing and it's actually been working. But obviously we've been in a market for a while now that's not moving much.
Yeah, we've been in a flat market. Well, you definitely there's really two things that you're talking about. You're talking about probability and profitability.
Right.
Okay. And so if you think about it, even let's just go into a similar but different example. Let's go to just gambling, all right? And you're playing poker, okay? And if your probability is higher you'll take on more risk, right?
Right.
So, if you have a straight or a flush or a royal flush, things like that. So you'll put more money up. You'll keep betting. Basically you'll take on more risk because you think, hey, the probability of me winning is much higher. Whereas if you just have like a pair of twos, all right, yeah, I'll maybe put the ante in the pot, whatever, and maybe, do like one round just to see if people fold. But I'm probably not going to, push it that far. If I got a pair of tens, I may push it a little further, that type thing. So your probability has a direct correlation to your risk and reward, your profitability. So the higher my probability of my trade, it sort of sounds funny, but the worse risk-reward ratio I'm willing to take on. Meaning I'm willing to, make $1 for $2 at risk if I have a very high probability, like a 70%, 80, 90% probability. And so if you're selling at a standard deviation level, then you're actually trading at a 70% probability of profiting. Said like an iron condor. And that really should, as long as you have accurate standard deviation numbers, that really should work on a consistent basis, even with, volatile markets. Because the standard deviation, as long as you're using implied volatility in your factor, then it'll move out wider on a really volatile market, and it'll move in narrower, of course, on a quiet market like today. Now, one of the ways to help balance that out is getting as close as you can, like you said, up to that, and to where you have like a 30 or 40, ideally as much as even a $50 profit. Now that means you have to be right at that standard deviation level, of course.
Right.
But when you get to that standard deviation level, that means that you actually think that it's going to drop, right?
Right.
So, and you think it's probably going to drop at least a half a standard deviation back, okay? So you may actually go in, and let's say the standard deviation level's at, this is really not the best example because we're coming so close to expiration. But here, let me pull up dailies like over on the spreads. We'll get a little bit wider. I just want to make sure I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. And let's do this right here. A little bit more variety here. So let's say it's actually, you expect it to move back down a few points, okay? Then you could actually sell, you may not even sell the one at the standard deviation level. You may sell one like 1 or 2 points in the money because you expect it to bounce and come back off that standard deviation level. So instead of putting, this trade on where, you're basically taking a, $44 profit for a $56 risk, you're putting this trade on where, you're in there and you're taking a $75 profit for a $25 risk. So by doing it a little bit in the money, close to that standard deviation level, instead of having to get all the way to it, because you don't really expect it to stop at the standard deviation level. So you expect it to either get there and fly past it, or get there and, you really expect it to come back, okay? And bounce off of it. That's like one of the oil plays that I call, we're doing like bounces off the standard deviation level.
Right.
So you're expecting it to bounce back. And so since you're expecting it to bounce back, if you can, if there's a good standard deviation level for what you're looking at, then ideally do one that's a little bit in the money right after it hits that standard deviation. So that way you put the risk reward in your favor and you put the probability in your favor. And that's, to me, that's really like the magic, I guess you could say, combination. So this is probably your higher probability trade, but it's higher risk. This one gives me a little lower probability because I do have to get a retracement, okay? But I do expect that retracement based on the probability, and therefore it comes back, and now I make a larger profit, and I can be wrong 3 times and still, 3 out of 4 and still be break even.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you very much for your help.
Hey, thanks for calling in. Give us a call anytime you got a question.
I will, Darrell. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks, Craig. We'll be right back after the commercial break.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of of shorting and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
All right, this is Darrell Martin. Thank you for calling in. And we had some great callers today, some great questions. I appreciate every time y'all call in, and I can help you out in any way that I can. And let's go ahead and do a market wrap for the day. And let's see here. I want to see what I can find out for you and just see what we got coming up next week. All right. So we got our Friday. Happy Friday. We're going to get to enjoy your weekend. And let's see what we got coming up. We got on the 20th here. Let's see. Got the pound. Yeah, that's not going to be any big impact to move. And really nothing in the U.S. So happening on Monday. So that'll just add to the quietness in the market. We got about 2 hours left. And let's see here. We got going on. Let's see. Tuesday, quiet. So quiet on the news. Then Wednesday, we'll have some existing home sales, and we'll have an FOMC meeting. So everybody will be watching for that, right? So good news, bad news, no news, whatever. So we'll see what's going to happen. That's going to be the big news. It'll be get ready for a quiet day between 10 and 2 Central Time next Wednesday. And really this Monday and Tuesday with no U.S. news coming out unless something comes out over the weekend. It's going to be more of the same. So, and that'll basically wrap up our week before we get into the Jackson Hole Conference next week. And that is going to have a definite impact on the markets. People are going to start either buying or selling, or who knows what they're going to be doing. Thursday, we got the unemployment claims and new home sales. And then Friday, we got core durable goods. So not a whole lot of news next week, but this FOMC meeting is going to be big. It's going to be key because, again, like I said, right after that, the end of next week, what are we leading into? We're leading into the Jackson Hole Symposium. And we're going to have that on Thursday. We're going to have that on Friday. And so Saturday, so it's just going to keep going. And that they're going to be looking at every bit of news on that. So that's going to affect the markets. And let's see here if that, how long does that go? Double check that real quick. And yep, it ought to be done by the weekend there. So by Saturday. So that's going to have a big impact on the markets on Sunday. And so just be ready for that. And make sure that y'all do stay tuned. We'll do a market wrap here in just a second. But what I wanted to make sure that you know is that we have David White coming up with his Power Trading Hour. And you definitely want to stay tuned for that show. Right after that, at 3 o'clock, we're going to have Ken Shreve with Breakout Investing. And then we're going to have the Tom O'Brien Show from 4 to 6. So stay tuned. We got great stuff for you on a Friday afternoon here. Let's go ahead and do a market wrap. Look at the market, see where things are headed. And S&P still just basically flat. I mean, right now it's up 0.75. Give it 15 minutes to be down 0.75. All right. Got the Russell up 5.5. We got the NASDAQ up 10. And we got the Dow up 9. We got oil up 44 cents, so it has continued to sort of try to push a little bit further. And but we'll see, how much further it can go. And I think it's basically exhausted itself for the day. We'll check it out and see. And then going over to gold, that's down 90 cents. So it's basically pulled back a lot of that part that it did earlier. And then if we go over, we look at corn, it is flat on the day. Corn, of all things, flat. You don't hear that too often. And from the close of yesterday, soybeans up 11 points after that big drop. It had 30-point drop in, 2 minutes yesterday. So it was pretty crazy on soybeans over there. And then on our currencies, we got the currencies up. Let's see here. We got euro dollar still down 41 ticks. Pound dollar down 39. Aussie dollar down 82. U.S. Canadian down 25. And all the yen pairs basically, up or down, flat, 17 ticks. So, quiet day, quiet afternoon, and but definitely some good education things going on, and I want y'all to stay tuned and just keep learning, keep listening, and keep calling in for any questions that you do have so that we can help you out. All right, well, thank you very much. I hope y'all have a great day, a great Friday, a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. And so I know probably disappointed some fans want some good cooking tips, so we'll have to bring some of those in next week because I'm cooking for my wife on a daily basis now. She's ready to have that baby. So y'all have a great day, great weekend. I'll talk to you next week.